So it's 11 o'clock and we just started. I got it turned up. You can hear that flame going pretty good. We're not quite to high, but I mean, it's up there. And it's showing 80 degrees on the meter. So we'll check back in about 10 minutes. All right, been 10 minutes and we've came up about, I would say, almost 10 degrees. Not quite 10. So we're just gonna keep letting it go 10 more minutes and we'll see if it gets to 100. So our first time doing this, it took us what, like 7 hours? We were going low and slow.
10 to dark, 10 to 9.
Yeah, like way too long.
Like
so
11 hours.
Now we're cranked up to more than double what we were before. And then it's been 16 minutes and we're already breaking 100. So this is a much better speed. And then once it gets above 140, we'll start to lower it down. Unlike you see in all the shit, this has to be like 200 degrees before you even make alcohol past the Thumper. We've learned that. We're worried about getting this too hot, trying to keep within our temperature ranges and then never make it past the Thumper. You have to get this sucker really going above 200 before it'll even go past this Thumper. So that's what we've learned so far on this. All right, we're officially 21 minutes into this and we're at 100 and almost 10 degrees right now. So it's moving pretty quickly now, which is good. Keep you updated. So one of the biggest problems we found with this triple burner and the setup is that the wind keeps blowing our flame around and it really messes with your temperatures. Like it can drop you 10 degrees just from a wind blow. So we went ahead and set up some stuff to stop the wind here, but this is a real problem that you're gonna come across. So you should really think about what type of burner you use, how the wind affects the flame prior to using it. I mean, you want a truthful experience about how we're running it. This is exactly how it gets happening right now. So we're 30 minutes in and we are now at 125-ish degrees. So it's starting to climb pretty good. You can actually hear it and feel some thumping going on in this upper pipe, though it's not past the Thumper keg itself yet. It's still cold. This pipe has to get nice and hot before it'll actually start to condense. You always want to make sure that you get past your downstem line, which is this line here, with liquid. So we went ahead and poured in some Moonshine from the previous batch. Got that inside of there with some peaches for flavor, since this is a batch of peach. And hopefully it transfers over some of the flavor to us over there. But we're a half hour in and we're at 130 now. So it's climbing nice and steady. And I'll keep you posted in the next 10. All right, so I just turned it down a little bit. It did a little bubble over here, just like a little bloop. And I can feel the heat starting to come up over this here. So I don't want to rush it out too fast. Oh, it's starting to drip slightly. It just massively jumped up to 200 degrees right away. Go ahead and lower it down a little bit. This heat shield really made a big difference. So now we're popping. I'll let you guys know how long it takes to run it out. This might have been a little too hot and too fast. We'll see. Never know. The last one took like over 7 hours, and this one we're going to be done in like 45 minutes. So we'll see what happens. So this might have been ran just a little bit too hot. I'm going to go ahead and ditch this for the heads and get another small jar here, start filling up our big jar, see what we get. But yeah, I don't know if the stream's going too fast or not, but we'll see. I mean, this is all an experiment with the new steel anyways. This one's by American Copper Works. They're from back east. I'll put a link in the description below. Be sure to go check these guys out. The dude lives in his shop and has to sleep with his copper, just keep the tweakers from stealing it. So, I mean, go support the locals over there and help a fella out. But I'll make sure the link's in the description. So the official 45-minute mark, and that's how much we got so far. Still kicking over there nicely. Keep you posted as the time flies by. Still running pretty hot. So right now the hydrometer is saying about 125, almost 130. So we're just gonna keep running for a bit until we start to get to the tails. Then we could temper it down and get it to the proof we want using the sweet water or the tails at the end. And we're only about 50 minutes into it, so doing pretty good. So it's been exactly 1 hour and 4 minutes. We're still kicking out a bunch of tails, and we're into the tails because the hydrometer is showing us at about 90 now. So we're starting to get weaker. So we're gonna separate these off into a new jar, and we'll use that to temper the rest of it. So I turned this burner way down. We're still riding above 200. About 210. It's still kicking a bunch, and the hydrometer says 80%. So we're exactly 1 hour and 10 minutes into this. So that's real time, real run, minute by minute. So we basically been pulling every single jar. Once it gets to about halfway, then we run it over here to the hydrometer, and we're down to below 70 now. So it's getting into the very end to the sweet water. We'll run it a little bit longer, try to keep it separated in the next couple jars here, and then we'll use that to temper the rest of this extremely potent stuff down to about 85, 90 proof. We're getting near the end of it. It's getting pretty low. I'm gonna do another temper there. We have number 1 jar, which is all above 130 proof. This one right here is about 90 plus. This one right here is below 70. So everything that's coming out of this is gonna be below 70. We're gonna use that, mix it between these two to temper them and get them all in even consistency. But it's been exactly 1 hour and 22 minutes. So we'll see how that goes and if this is the proper timing or not. It seems pretty good so far, but it tastes great. It doesn't taste burnt or anything. And our temperature has jumped up to almost 220 degrees, even though the burner's been turned way down for a long time. So that's where we're running on temps. All right, just pulled that batch off. It's been, like I said, about 1 hour and 25 minutes. And we're riding just about 62. And it's getting a lot sweeter. So we'll let it run for just a little bit longer here and see how low it can go. Keep this all separated so we know what we got going on. I'll mark them out on jars, and then we can use those to flavor it at the end, like I said. But hour and 25 minutes, and we're still kicking 62% out.
A few moments later.
All right, 1 hour, 37 minutes. We just pulled another bottle off there, and it is still riding above 30. Maybe 35-ish. Not quite sure. Oh, that's pretty close to that. So temps are still pretty well above 200. Climbed a tiny bit. It's running as low as you could possibly turn it on. So still kicking. We'll see how much longer it takes. So exactly 1 hour 45 minutes. We're still kicking, and at the last test it was still at 40, like 38. So we're gonna just keep letting it run until it taps out. Just for us, we're separating them off in different percentages. I got them labeled here, and then we'll go ahead and temper out the most, strongest, add whatever we want for flavor, and we're gonna use the hydrometer to get it accurate where we want it. So it's the first time I've ever used one to do it and get it accurate. So I'm excited about that. I know my buddy Dustin is. Yeah, pretty excited. There's a lot here. I'm pretty pumped. We'll let you know how it goes and when we finish out. So we're literally like right at the 30 marker. So it's still kicking it out in this good steady stream. I mean, it's got a nice steady flow going, and we're at 40. I'm at a little above 20, 30. We're at 30. So I'm not sure how far to let it go, but we'll just keep collecting it until it stops, and then we'll figure it out from there. We're not pros at this, so got to learn one way or another. Dustin's checking it with the hydrometer right here. The rest of this we're just going to let run and put in a separate jar. But right now it's at 90%, and I think that's about where we're going to keep it. What you got, buddy?
Like 92, 90, 92.
Yeah, and it's really flavorful. So that's where we're sticking. So it took us, oh, what's that? Almost exactly 2 hours. So you be the judge of whether that's good timing or bad timing, but 2 hours, we got that whole gallon, and then there's a bunch left in this one, which will probably get drank up. Then we have, I don't know, a little bit more leftover Tells or sweet water at the end here. We're just going to keep running. Somebody will drink it. But that's it right there. American Copper Steels. Put a link in the description below. Go check them out. Help a small business out. And then hope this video helped. If it does, smash that like button, subscribe, all that jazz, and we'll catch you in the next one. Time for us to clean some shit up. Later.